Hello everyone, it's Amy, and I'm just here to do a quick share for Caroline Withington, and what she wanted to know was what I use to cut my stencils. These are little binder dividers that I get at the store. I thought I had them in a package, but I don't. But they come just like this. There's 5 different colors, 5 different tabs on them, and you put them in your notebook to separate, to make categories. So they're just a thin plastic, and I even have some that I got from the Dollar Tree that are even thinner, and they work just as well. They're a little bit smaller, but and I apologize for the glare, but this is what I use to cut my stencils out of. This is the material that I use, and I thought I'd just a quick share of doing some stencils. The way that I cut my stencils is I have a piece of glass. This is 1/4 inch sanded glass. The edges are all sanded, so you do want to be careful. If you use the really thin glass, be careful about pushing too hard. And what I do is I put whatever design I've drawn on the back upside down. Grab another piece of tape, and I just reuse my tape over and over so my tape looks all yucky, but and I just tape that to the back, then I flip it over. Whoops. And I normally just do it right on my table, and as I'm going I just turn and turn and turn. But yesterday I just bought this great big huge Lazy Susan. It's like 18 inches across or more. It's huge. And so I thought I would give it a quick try. So what I do is I just take my stencil, and I normally line it up like at the bottom of my glass so that I've got the spot with the holes. I've got a little bit of leeway there so that my pattern's not going down there. And I don't have those holes when I'm trying to stencil. I don't have those holes in my way. And then I just tape down my plastic. And what I have been using now for quite a long time is my stencil cutter from Plaid. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's from Plaid. And this works really well. It has the tip that I'm using is the curved tip, and it also comes with a straight tip. I like the curved one. And basically all you do is you just choose what you're going to cut. We'll just kind of come over here, and you just kind of look at it from right above, because with it being under the glass, if you look at it from one angle or another, it basically it moves. If you were to look at this straight above, and then if you move your head to the right, the circle kind of moves that way, or to the left, whatever. So basically with the Plaid cutter, this works so easy. It's not a wood burner. I've tried wood burners, and they get so hot that they melt the plastic really bad. And, that kind of discouraged me until I saw this one that specifically said it was a stencil cutter. And it's not as hot. So, it doesn't melt the plastic as bad. It just cuts it. But I think that some wood burners have temperatures on them. So if you have one with a high and low temperature, I'm going to guess that the low temperature would work well for cutting stencils. I'm not sure, because mine only has high temperature on it, and it's just too hot. So I just continue until I get done with the stencil, and then normally I put a solid piece of cardstock behind it and use a sponge and white paint. Sometimes what you've cut goes underneath your plastic and you can't grab it and get it out of there, but when you pick it up you can pull it out. But yeah, I just put my design on a piece of colored paper, cardstock, and then I punch the 3 holes in the cardstock to match the binder, and put them in my binder together so that the paper is between this stencil and the one behind it, and there's paper between this stencil and the one in front of it, and that way they don't, the stencils don't catch on each other. Now the way that I used to do it, if I can find where I put it, was just with a plain old X-Acto knife. Just a straight edge X-Acto knife, which works well for cutting straight lines. And Normally, I would cut like both lines this way if I was going to do this stencil all the way down, and then I would turn my stencil and cut my straight lines the other way. Now the X-Acto knife works really well on straight lines, but I had a hard time whenever I was trying to do something like a circle. Now the only thing that I didn't do was I did not put on my I did not put on my glasses. So because I'm picking this up and then turning it and trying to find the other spot, I'm not so sure how well I'm doing here. Oh, and that one wanted to go underneath. There we go. I have one more there to cut. But yeah, so the X-Acto knife works great for straight edges. And then the only thing is, one thing that you do want to do is make sure that you line your corners up. Don't cross past. When you cut this line, you want the other line to match up right at the corner. If you cut past it, even though you come back and cut this where it's supposed to be, where that little bit of a cut is, your paint will go through that spot and you will see it. So you have to make sure that when you get to the corner that your corners are lined up well. With me not having glasses on, I'm going to guess that I probably did overcut on these, and so it probably won't work real well. So, but then I did find excuse me, I did find this little cutter, and it has a blade that moves. It swivels. So I have not used it to cut a stencil yet, but I'm going to try it right now. I've got this one that's ovals that I would not be able to cut without my, let's see, can you see? Yes. Alright, so this one is supposed to swivel. It doesn't swivel as well as I would have liked it to. But it's not going completely straight. So it's a 50-50. I think that I might be able to do this just as well with a straight blade, possibly. And I didn't cut all the way through either. Let's try this next one. Let's see if no. I was trying to hold it down there so I didn't lose my place. There. So it works, and I didn't press quite hard enough on the first one all the way around. But if you're cutting with an X-Acto knife, just use caution, because the plastic is slippery, so you don't want it to slip and come towards you. And then the other thing is that Ruth Burr said that she was using her little tiny snip scissors to cut them. And so I would guess that you would draw your pattern right on your plastic, make a hole in a center spot that's going to be gone anyways, and then just, that came off, make a little cut in the center, and then you just use your little snips to cut all the way around. And I think little snips would probably be a whole lot easier than an X-Acto knife. So that was a really great tip from Ruth. And again, that's Ruth Burr, because for some reason I had never thought of it before. My thought was always cut it with an X-Acto knife. And, you know, it just takes so long. And then I would get, you know, I'd get almost done and I'd have some overcuts that wouldn't look as well because the paint would go through that little spot where I overcut. So try it with little snips. I would say that might be your best bet. But this is what I use, and it's just a binder divider to divide subjects for school or whatever. And I get a 5-pack at Walmart here in the States for, I think it's like 85 cents or something. So, yeah. Thank you all for watching. Thanks, Caroline, for asking. I hope that this helps without having the packaging, but I'm sure at least this way you can see what it looks like before I make it into a stencil. And again, it just comes in a pack of 5, and they're like this, where you can see each one of the tabs separately to put in a binder. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you have an outstanding day. Bye-bye.